Hello, folks, and welcome back. We are heading towards our final game of the night. It's going to be University of Hawaii versus UT Arlington. I'm Sir Waltham, joined by Dryad once again to cast our last game as we head forward. Dryad, we've talked about it. We're a little bit cursed when it comes to these score lines, and I can't say I expect much different from this matchup, although I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised.
I Yeah, we definitely want a surprise coming through here, but I don't know. We're really cursed, huh? Like that is really what is going on here. Last week and this week, it's been all about 3-0s. Hopefully, the two teams Arlington and Hawaii, University of Hawaii, can change the narrative. But UT Arlington last season, again, looking really good on the top of the table all the way until the end. University of Hawaii, we haven't really seen much from them, but we had the opportunity to cast their game last week and they didn't really look that good. They were making a lot of mistakes when it came to engagement. They were having difficulty building ultimates. So I'm really hoping they were able to fix those mistakes in the past week to see what they can do against UT Arlington.
Yeah, and it's real curious here, right? Because Hugh Hawaii went up against Colorado last week, and Colorado, a pretty strong team. They're kind of up there, right, with some of their, especially with their tank play, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But as we look towards Arlington, I would say the much better overall, well-rounded team. So University of Hawaii, I think we're gonna have to see some major change-ups, both in play style, maybe composition, mindset moving forward, if they want any different of a result than that we had last week.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, and I feel like it just goes back to the the basic mistakes that they were making that I'm really hoping and having faith that they fixed in this past week. And it was all about I feel like even if you don't want to play the meta composition right now, which is, it can be anything at this point, you can play whatever your team is strong at, whatever the individual players feel comfortable with, but assuring that you're going to rotate those ultimates more than anything because that was the issue that they were having that last week, that there were many ultimates that they had available, but they wouldn't use them right when they had to. They waited a little bit too long. They waited 2 fights, 3 fights, and at that point, it's a little too late to use them. They're going to be in a massive disadvantage.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see if maybe that tempo changes up here as we look towards our first map. It's going to be Ilios, and going to celebrate the Halloween season just a little bit. That nice picture on the
Yep.
wall. But as we tune in here, Hawaii going to be on the left, Arlington on the right. And as we take a look here, looks like a little bit of a dive look perhaps coming in from these teams.
Yeah, we have to see if they're going to make any changes, especially towards the end. But I wouldn't deny this fast-paced compositions. They can work out once again. Going back to ruins, going back to these basic compositions where anything can work out. The hit scans playing a massive role here, though. And I'm only seeing the hit scans actually coming through for this side of University of Hawaii. While UT Arlington, they're going to be playing the Sombra and the Tracer.
As we can see here, both these teams going to be looking to line themselves up. Nobody taking immediate point presence, though. Just a little bit of positioning to perhaps find that weak link in anybody's armor here, as Ray's close to getting hacked, but instead able to back off, gets burned down aggressively, and just like that, UT Arlington going to be smelling the blood in the water.
Yeah, what is the Sombra at the same time? 60% already for that EMP, and it's been barely any sessions. The point had just unlocked. Also, I really like the skin, but anyways, the EMP is about to be ready potentially towards the end of this next fight. And University of Hawaii, they lost a fight that it seems like it didn't even really start for them.
And Rolky going to be taken down by Super Juice right off the bat. Arlington giving no reprieve to the opposition here. University of Hawaii has their Diva hacked up, meaning that she won't be able to use that Matrix. It's going to cost them the D-Mech, and Hawaii has to be careful. They're about to get spawn camped.
They are about to get spawn camp, and this is something that happened to them last week. Again, they don't want those mistakes to continue to happen. They have to fix them as soon as possible. But UT Arlington, they are feeling confident. They're going to have the pulse from ideally landing into one of the supports into the Anna. Or, well, now the Lucio and see what they can do with it.
Couple change-ups, maybe it'll be enough for the University of Hawaii. Ray's taking a lot more damage. It's going to be Julian throwing in that pulse bomb. Not quite able to deal the follow-up damage required to get the kill, but Dez going to be dropping the EMP, catching 3-4 out, and those 4 are immediately going to drop. Roku, the last one remaining, has that rewind and the blinks to get out.
Really good response time happening for this team of UT Arlington. EMP comes in, is the majority of the team, and there's an immediate response to take all of them down to the point where only the EMP was necessary to win that fight. They still have a lot more to go, including the minefield, just to create that space.
And we're going to be seeing that Diva Bomb come in. UT Arlington causing a lot of disruption off the back end of that. It's gonna be 3 kills, well, 2 kills and a DMEC, but no supports available for Hawaii. It means that nobody can get healed up. They have to try to get away, but Rolfie gonna have to use that rewind and just try to make their way to point to even contest. But gonna be dropped on the way there.
And I feel like I missed it a little bit as well. And the supports got taken down in the worst possible scenario for the setup University of Hawaii. With that self-destruct, yeah, this is exactly what I want to see. Where are the supports coming through? Oh yeah, they're all the way to the right. So really they had the opportunity to hide though behind one of those walls, but they didn't really have the time to do so. Both of the supports getting taken down when there's like over 90% for the enemy team. Really denied any possibilities for University of Hawaii to make a comeback on Ruins. But now another map, another opportunity. UT Arlington though still looking very much ahead.
Absolutely, and University of Hawaii might be looking towards the skies as they pick that far to come out of spawn. Julian going to be on the sim, I anticipate, just for a quick teleporter, then switching onto the Tracer. In fact, it's going to be exactly what we see here. And University of Hawaii, we can already see them on a comp that's going to feel a lot more comfortable playing at a farther distance. That means that Julian and Dez need to get in there, close the distance fast, and really start to put some pressure on that Hanzo, on those supports. Tiki already going to be causing a bit of disruption, but Lemon Shark starting off well with a kill on 2 Super Juice, no Discord to threaten any of the members of University of Hawaii. However, the point slowly being flipped in favor of Arlington. They're going to slowly be working their way around, and Kibo going to be taken down by Julian. A dual hit coming in with the assistance of Tiki. Lemon Shark with another nice shot to the head. This time around, UT Arlington not looking so infallible. They're going to have to really try to get themselves back into this fight. Roku taking 1 down, but now there needs to be a little bit more point presence as Arlington already have that first flip.
I do like this composition from University of Hawaii a little bit more compared to what we saw in Ruins, especially with that Pharah more than anything. But now it's a matter of making this composition work out for them. The Pharah and the Mercy just got taken down. Okay, another kill. It's gonna be a reset. It's gonna be a regroup that has to happen. The kills one by one cannot continue, or it's going to affect University of Hawaii all the way until UT Arlington is at 99%, and there's nothing left to be done.
Oh, Julian might smell the opportunity here, but no, it's going to be Rolq with a damage-boosted rocket taking them out in one fell swoop. Just like that, things might have tipped over for the University of Hawaii to start getting some point progress here. Mortler trying to contest this Pharah, just get her out of the skies, quit being a thorn in the side of UT Arlington. Eventually will be demeched, but it's going to be already 60% before the point even starts to flip over for University of Hawaii.
We have to see this is the best opportunity that we've seen from University of Hawaii, but we have to see if they're actually able to capture the point as one by one UT Arlington. They continue to touch. They pass at 70%, and they don't want to give up this yet.
Keep eyes out. Julian has the pulse bomb, might be reaching out for it. No, instead just going to put the pressure onto that Hanzo. And amazingly, UT Arlington having that resilience, not letting the point drop. It's going to be Julian patting the back of the Reinhardt. However, that Mercy trying to keep him alive eventually will fall. Newt not going to be enough. Eventually closed on by Julian themselves as well. 92%. It doesn't look like any touch is happening.
Yeah, it does not seem like there's any other opportunity. No one getting here close, and now the Pharah really close, getting taken down, and there it is, first map going for UT Arlington.
UT Arlington looking very strong here as we go back towards the play of the game. Julian, no surprise, doing some real excellent tracer work here, particularly on this back end. Getting the kill, getting the stick, the pat on the back, as I said earlier, and still killing despite that Mercy trying to keep their teammate alive. And we've really seen now what Manoa has to do to try to overcome their opposition here at Arlington.
I'd really like seeing this far out, and even when we go into the next map, and I don't want to get too ahead, but I do want to see the possibility for that far happening. The Echo even is a possibility. Any of those flying heroes, I feel like they were able to highlight themselves a little bit more to anything else that we've seen from University of Hawaii before. So a good sign, but now it's practicing it more, scrimming it more, and especially playing on these official matches as well to see what they're able to get away with. So it is looking good with the Pharah. A lot more aggression, a lot more kills to what we saw on that last map. But now there's still a lot left to be done, especially when you go against UT Arlington.
Oh, I absolutely have to agree. And despite Hawaii not necessarily coming out victorious here, there were some shines coming through that made them look at least a little bit good. There was one fight where it looked like they might have flipped well over in their favor. Not going to quite be the
Yeah.
case, and sometimes that's just the way it goes. But, Dryad, I am getting word that as we look towards our next map that is going to be Blizzard World, we are going to be seeing a side swap around. So we'll be seeing the teams on a little bit of a different look. Not going to matter too much, at least not for me personally, because we haven't seen these teams start off on defense or attack yet to start.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's going to be a swap. I don't really know that what are the stakes for University of Hawaii at this point. Again, good signs, but it seems like there's a lot missing. I like that they fixed the things that I talked about at the beginning. So far, they were able to rotate those ultimates a little bit more effectively, but it's a matter of making it more and happen more and more often. So we saw with Farah, really good barrage, gets a couple kills. Again, and I continue to reiterate this because I haven't seen University of Hawaii look as good as I saw them until the last map, and I think that is going to be their winning condition is if they want to win the next map and potentially the one after as well.
Yeah, and I think what really played well into Hawaii's hand there was the fact that they had a composition that was well suited for that long range that we commented about. That was Farah with no drop off on the rockets, basically. The Hanzo who can still just deal tons of damage at a distance. And the opposing team was playing those characters that really had to get tucked in and get close to you. Yeah, once Arlington started to close that gap, it looked a lot more favorable towards them, but Hawaii was really intent on not trying to let them get that advantage in the first place. So overall, I think Hawaii is starting to put the pieces together, although maybe not executing or not performing it in the way that it would ideally work out for them.
Yeah, again, we have to see what is going to happen with this team, especially as we get close to the next map, because they can plan things for the long term. But what really matters is this next map that we go into. And again, it is going to be Blizzard World coming next. UT Arlington now, the swap made it so they're going to start on the defense.
As we look ahead, it is going to be that Arlington defense coming through, and right now, a little bit of an interesting look. I feel like we don't see Diva Orisa paired up enough to have a fun name for it yet, Dryad.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen very often. And I feel like Orisa is just not the most fun hero to play with any composition, especially because the Orisa is one hero that you know for sitting in the same place. But on the other hand, you have the Diva that is more likely to be able to dive and play more aggressive and go into the enemy team. So a very, very different composition that can be played here, but the mix of both, they haven't really seen enough of, and maybe you can come up with a name after this. We'll see.
I like this quick execution by the University of Hawaii, just getting themselves directly onto point. Already the first tick achieved 50%. They're already putting a lot of pressure onto UT Arlington to have to contest. UT Arlington will eventually get some kills in their favor, but already 95% going over to their opponents. And just like that, University of Hawaii not starting off in too terrible of a spot.
No bad so far, but lost 2 ticks. University of Hawaii and it was all about UT Arlington and making that rotation to point happening time. It seems like they were a little too late to the point that it almost cost them the payload to start moving, which is the last thing that they want right now, especially because there's a sense that you get when you see the team starting on the defense. They want to hold strong, they have the confidence that they can do it, but that means that they need to stay really, really close, especially because they already lost so much.
We're going to see University of Hawaii once again look to get aggressive here. We see that Maywall trying to get set up. Julian has that high noon. Look for the opportunity for it to be dropped. Tiki dangerously low, and with super juice down, it means that Colby's gonna have to try to be the one to heal up, but Mash and Chase are gonna be the one to take them down, and Julian finding the kills there. It's the high noon that comes out. The immortality field at the very proper moment from Hawaii to try to secure the lives of those who still remain, and so far, it's gonna be Hawaii looking very good. They get that first point cap as well. Maybe they turning it around just a bit.
I just want to see, I really don't think UTA Arlington was expecting this sort of attack coming from University of Hawaii. And they are looking good, the attacking coming through to be effective and starting to play more and more aggressive as we see the teams face each other with the next couple ultimates. There's going to be a visor as well. And we've seen those visors surprisingly enough be very effective on for today.
And we're seeing that visor come out. Might get the Lucio as well. Nope, just gonna have to be content with the Baptiste. Dez having to drop that healing beacon just to try to give themselves a little bit of a refresher. It's gonna be the Earth Shatter that comes through, stopping everybody from that amplification matrix, but the damage already done. UT Arlington looking to put the doorstop in this as soon as possible.
As soon as possible, but there's a lot of time remaining here, and UT Arlington, they need to get that extra confidence going on. They need to go touch the spawn, and that is exactly what they are going to do. It's gonna be at least once per map for this team. A couple ultimates coming through for them is going to be the selfie shot going to the backline. There's a lot of protection there, doesn't get any kills.
The Maywall coming in the immortality field to save Kibo's own life, and Roku has to be very careful. Lemon Shark throwing out the Blizzard, but it's a little bit too late, although Julian doesn't even get frozen up. It's going to be taken down 2 with the Deadeye, 2 with the Mines. University of Hawaii respawns.
4 kills for this Cowboy. Doing good so far as the payload starts to move back, and the changes coming through. University of Hawaii now not being able to do much. Definitely struggling more than we saw them on that first one. And UT Arlington realizing that they cannot make any mistakes. Also, they don't know. Oh.
UT Arlington setting up with Tiki on that Wrecking Ball just off the side of spawn, making it so difficult for anybody to even get turned around. But Hawaii going to be rerouting themselves to get towards Cart, but they still have to approach Cart with UT Arlington posted up on this high ground. Question is, how do they manage that? A nice Maywall to try to buy themselves some sort of space, but with Dez's Tac Visor, it's just all too overwhelming. The damage coming through, nobody really seeming to focus down Dez, and the Cart doesn't move an inch.
Just not move, at least, you know, it stopped moving back, but it is all that is going. No, never mind. It's back to going all the way back. And University of Hawaii again struggling to get out of spawn. Probably the worst scenario for any player. Anyone they try to come up, they get taken down. And this is a scenario where if you are that desperate to come out of spawn, you might need to make a couple of changes into those aggressive or damage-dealing heroes to make a difference.
It's going to be the Diva Bomb coming out. Takes down Dez, the immortality field as well, forced out. Tiki getting frozen up and immediately focused down. It's going to be the return Diva Bomb coming out. Lordler able to get 3, and looked like Hawaii might have had an opportunity here, but with everybody, all the supports, the DPS, and now the tanks getting removed, there is no chance for this push.
There is no chance. It seems like they had an opening, but it got completely denied. 3 kills with the self-destruct is going to be more than enough to stop the attackers to continue to move that payload. As UT Arlington, they have pretty much every ultimate that they need, initiating with that rally especially.
We see another Blizzard going out. It's going to be working just to catch Tiki, but all this effort to getting the ball taken out, and Maywall a little bit unfortunate. Not going to be enough to really get this payload moving forward. I'm not sure I agree with Rolq on this sim anymore.
Again, yeah, like you said, I'm not really sure if I agree with what this team of University of Hawaii tries to bring. It's going to be that aggression coming through that is going to allow them to not only take control of the high ground, but start moving that payload. And this is really the last opportunity for them to do so. 30 seconds remaining. University of Hawaii, the opportunities, they're fading away. They're going to have to use this sound barrier aggressively to stand a chance against UT Arlington.
We're going to now be seeing Julian on this Doomfist, trying to get those big damage numbers up early on. Dez going to be taking the shots onto the supports, lifted up by that rising uppercut coming in from the Doom, and with this Dez looking to just continue to tear apart. The Mei falls, the Diva falls, D-mech'd. Now it looks like there's nothing left for University of Hawaii but the crying pushed back into spawn. UT Arlington have cut themselves a warpath.
I was a little bit concerned for UT Arlington when they lost that first point, but then I like how aggressive they were playing, touching the spawn, getting the kills, using the self-destruct, using the tactical visor, really making a difference with those ultimates that we never saw University of Hawaii doing, even when they had so much time remaining. What? I've never seen this part of the map. What is this?
This is the Snacksorama. I'm fairly sure. I'd bet dollars on it.
What? Oh,
Yeah, it's the
I I never noticed that.
Snacksorama. Yeah, it's the Murloc Pops, the turkey leg, and I think the other one was like a hamburger or a cheeseburger, something like that. Either way, good food, and it's a little bit appropriate because UT Arlington were making sure to just chow down on their opposition in that spawn.
Oh yeah, and unfortunately for them, they don't really have the chance to do this now, as it is going to be UT Arlington going on the attacking side. No opportunity to touch the spawn unless they're really going for it, which I don't think so. I mean, you know what? Maybe they have
Maybe.
fast heroes. They have the Wrecking Ball. They have the Tracer as well. Even a Sombra. They could just go really quickly, touch the spawn, and come back, and they would still have time.
Just do a little bit of the football field sprints as they try to make it back to point, but we'll see if that ends up being the case here. The gates are going to open. UT Arlington looking to get out rather immediately. It's going to be Dez looking to do a little bit of scouting with this Sombra, get those health kits hacked rather immediately, and now UT Arlington continuing to get themselves in a decent position, and University of Hawaii just opting to take this slow. They're not going to have as an aggressive a push as we saw Hawaii have this first time around on their attack, but UT Arlington managing to back a few members into the corner. Roll Q stuck in a rather uncomfortable place, and Lucio getting booped off. A little bit of the irony there.
Yep.
The Booper has become the Boop E, but now UT Arlington looking to just continue to tear this team apart. There's no saving for the University of Hawaii.
This is a nightmare as well because they only have to move the payload a couple meters. I mean, pretty much right there. So if UT Arlington is able to create that space, that is going to be it. It's actually a little bit farther than I thought.
Get past basically that first choke point, I think most people would consider it. The pop up coming in from the pile driver. Tiki trying to set up Super Juice for that burst shot onto Newt. Not going to quite find it with those orbs of destruction. However, University of Hawaii looking to move things ahead. 1 DPS down for both sides. The immortality field from the side of Hawaii trying to get some sort of distance here, and UT Arlington on the attack, kind of surrounding this team. Colby looking to put some pressure onto Raze with that Reinhardt. Both tanks taken dangerously low for the side of University of Hawaii, looking to be followed up on, cleaned up towards, and UT Arlington slowly delivers that cart. Very little argument there from University of Hawaii.
Yeah, a couple more kills that had to happen. That is exactly what UT Arlington does. 3-0. They take this victory, and our curse continues.
Curse continues so far, but we do have one more Dryad, so maybe we have a little bit more faith as we look towards that final map. But overall, they're going to be coming in with the play of the game, getting a nice 4K, 3 with the bomb, and then a little bit of the traditional mecha bullets coming through. But yes, UT Arlington now going to be up 2-0, and things aren't looking great for the University of Hawaii, Dryad. They really have to hope to change things up on Volskaya. But folks, we'll only find out at the other end of this break, so stick around. And just like that, folks, we are back. We couldn't hold off any longer, ready to bring you all the action in our potentially final map of the night here on Volskaya, UT Arlington versus University of Hawaii. UT Arlington start on defense, bringing out the Bastion.
Oh, look, I don't want to say it, but we also saw this last week. We also saw this coming through last week. It was a Bastions, and it was essentially a nightmare. So, really hoping it doesn't happen again, especially because, okay, UT Arlington is the one starting on the defense with the Bastion. The question here is, can University of Hawaii counter the Bastion?
It's like this is unironically, I think, very good for University of Hawaii. The Bastion is a basic gut check. You should know how to kind of handle this as a team. It's going to be made a little bit more difficult by this sim, but we'll see exactly how University of Hawaii decides to task this as UT Arlington once again on a pretty solid defense, going to be able to quick relocate here. And so will University of Hawaii, who look like they might have a bit of trouble setting up that teleporter, but eventually will make their way across. And it seems like UT Arlington going to be very savvy to this and setting up with a Bastion right on entryway. Huge opportunity for them to potentially try to push up here, take down this teleporter, and really open up their options. But nope, instead it's just going to be a killing field.
Nope. Instead, everyone's going to get taken down, and that is a fight. University of Hawaii not really coming out to be successful, even after taking down the teleporter and trying to take out the Bastion. A little bit unfortunate for this team, but at least the fight didn't last that long. They have the opportunity to go again. Maybe going main. Yep, going main.
Looks like that's the exact thought process for University of Hawaii. And once again, roll queue on this sim. I get a little hesitant here because we saw them stay on that sim for way too long on Blizzard World. Gonna be Colby just continuing to heal up this Bastion. Yes, Lemon Shark does break the shield, but I mean, the Orisa Tiki almost has it up just as quickly. And what do you do if you're University of Hawaii? You don't have a D.Va to eat up all that damage infinitely. You don't have a Sigma, you just have a Zarya and a Reinhardt. And those tanks are going to get torn to shreds, as we're seeing here now. Dryad, immediate response from Arlington.
Yeah, an immediate response, especially from Julian, with all those kills on the Bastion. So far, no counter for this Bastion from the University of Hawaii, who continue to get taken down. Julian is going to have that ultimate as well to use. And along with the amplification matrix, that can be detrimental. I mean, look at them working together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That amplification matrix means that Bastion is putting down 100 nukes per second. I don't know the actual numbers, but putting down an immense number of high damage rounds per second. We're going to be seeing that immortality field go down in a quick response, and it looks like everybody from University of Hawaii is just getting torn asunder. Mash and Chaser not able to get too much with that D.Va matrix. Instead, it's going to be the team kill coming in for Arlington.
Couple kills coming through towards the end. 1 minute 25 seconds around remaining for the setup. University of Hawaii on the attacking side. UT Arlington haven't really felt the need to use any aggressive ultimate to guarantee those fights, and it's because it's the Bastion. Like you said, I'm not sure how much damage he's able to put through, but it's definitely enough to kill the entirety of the enemy team.
All right, credit where it's due. I was criticizing Roll Q for staying on the sim too long. They swapped it after 2 or 3 fights, nothing too detrimental. Trying to use that concussion blast to knock that Bastion off of some ideal ground. Julian now in a little bit of a weakened state, but has that tank configuration, looking to just deal the damage. Doesn't even really need to, only takes down and demechs the D.Va. The rest of the team has him covered.
It's all about the support from the team. Like you said, everyone is able to support each other. The Bastion, the Symmetra, the supports as well, and of course the tanks, all able to work together. The teleporter is going to be back, and it's a lot of protection as well, where we haven't really seen any closure coming through for University of Hawaii. But there is a Pharah though. The best that we've seen this team doing is with this hero.
See if Roku can achieve that same success. We're seeing University of Hawaii really take their time to get through this hallway. That's not what you need, but that Earth Shatter is a good start. It's going to be a boot potentially onto everybody, but no, instead we'll just be a few inches short of sending everybody into the watery grave. Dez and Julian looking to definitely do their jobs, tear everybody apart. Overtime's going to tick down, no percentage for University of Hawaii.
Nope, not even that 33% they are going to be able to get. And with that, it is that same 33% that UT Arlington is pretty much all that they need to win this map. To win this match, they were able to hold the defense with the Bastion pretty much uncontested. So what's ahead should be a lot easier for them.
You would certainly have to think so. I wonder how University of Hawaii is going to respond here, because you need to have a perfect defense to come together with a draw. That's going to be a little tough. That's going to be a high ask for Hawaii given Arlington's performance today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a very, very difficult for University of Hawaii to make anything else happen here. It's about UT Arlington. They have proven themselves to be the better team so far on the last two maps that we saw, potentially on this one as well. Playing the better compositions, playing the better heroes. And again, I think University of Hawaii, they stand a chance if they played Hikara from the beginning. But by the time that she was brought up to the table, it was a little too late. The damage was not able to come through. And especially when you have a Bastion on the other side, you know that your power is going to get taken down right away.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough time, but Roll Q now going to be looking to swap over to that Junkrat, the opportunity to play some traps, maybe give their supports a little bit of cover from those dive-heavy DPS and tanks that can come through. A huge opportunity here. Nice hack onto Mashin, giving them the opportunity to open things up. It's going to be UT Arlington almost taking down the Junkrat. Roll Q not able to find as much advantage if they are dead. The hack trying to come through, can't quite connect. It's going to be Tiki taken down in exchange for Raze. So University of Hawaii already suffering in a very rough spot. Lortler chasing down Kibo, and with this, UT Arlington looking to be the likely winners of this fight so far. That remains to be seen. The Diva gets destroyed. May now put in the dirt next, and that looks like it's going to be about it. Nobody left to contest. That's an easy 1/3 for the side of UT Arlington, and they will take away the 3-0 series.
I want to say that we've seen highlights and 3Ks and 4Ks from every single player at UT Arlington today. This last one, it doesn't happen very often when you see the break in his 3 kills, but with the confidence that UT Arlington has, it was all about getting this over with, and now 3-0 happening. UT Arlington, really, really good. I mean, they were one of the best teams last season for a reason.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that proof exactly come through and shine here today, Dryad. University of Hawaii, if you're looking at the positives here, you have some ideas of where you might be able to improve yourselves. You already have one of the harder teams out of the way, so the rest of the series, or the rest of the season, should look a little bit lighter for you, but still a rough game to walk away from.
Yeah, it is going to be rough. I still want to give some credit to University of Hawaii though. I feel like the mistakes that I saw from them last week, they fixed them in one way or another. Obviously, it's a long way to go to get to the level of BT Arlington, but I feel like it definitely showed us that there's been some sort of improvement, and they still have a couple weeks to go. They still have multiple weeks to go to continue to improve, to continue to find out what they're best at and how they can counter the enemy team.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the side of UT Arlington, we're going to be getting a little insight from one of the players. So, folks, stick around. We will be back with an interview after this break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are sitting here in the interview booth with Tiki. Hello, Tiki, and congratulations.
Hello, thank you. Glad to be here again.
Absolutely. No surprise, given the pedigree we've seen coming through UT Arlington before, but I want to look at today's match. I want to kind of focus on Volskaya because that was one of the more interesting maps we saw.
hmm
Was there prior planning to the Bastion pick? Was that something you guys were gonna run, or is that something you just kind of felt out in the moment?
Um, yeah, we tend to like that a lot. Um, is it a little BM? Yeah, but it's something we actually run as a strat every once in a while. But it's not like oh, we're winning by like we're better, so we're just gonna run this to troll.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, I feel like, teams at all different levels of Overwatch try to run that composition. Not everyone getting away with the victory like you guys did, but so I do have a question very similar to what Waltham said, and is that, well, in regards to the preparations that you guys have, did you guys look at how University of Hawaii was playing last week to prepare for your match today, or do you just generally prepare for everyone the same way?
We did. Jesus, we did. We did watch them beforehand. So we have seen them, but we normally just kind of go for the one, like the general comps everyone goes and plays for. Um, and so it was just something we just played against what we were kind of used to, I guess. Um, of course, if there's like teams that we know about coming up that are playing these weirder comps and stuff, we probably will go around that a little bit more. I know that there's a lot of people that play junk in this league for whatever reason, so we're looking at that as well. So
Yeah, and I had one more question for you is that I feel like the only fight that I saw you guys lose was in Blizzard World. You guys lost that first defense. What happened there? Because it seems like it was really messy for you guys and you were not expecting the aggression from Hawaii.
yeah, we've mostly been playing against like dive comps. We weren't really expecting a like rush, and they got on us, and we won the fight, but we gave up 2 ticks. And so we were just kind of like trying to figure out the best position where we wouldn't give up those picks in a composition that plays a lot
Yeah.
slower than a rush comp. So it was just a bit different. It was unexpected.
Well, unexpected, but not going to be taking anything away from this 3-0 result you guys achieved here today. Tiki, I want to thank you for hopping in here and answering a few of our questions. And before we let you go, do you want to give the opportunity for any shout outs to anybody you feel deserves it?
I mean, shout out to Drew, our like coordinator of esports, and Pinkle is really cool. Uh, she helps out a lot as well. Um, yeah,
All right. Well, fantastic. Tiki, once again, thank you for hopping in here. And in case I haven't said it enough, congratulations.
thank you.
And with that, Dryad, we are just about ready to wrap our presentation up for tonight, ending with another 3-0, this time going in favor of UT Arlington over University of Hawaii. And I don't know, it's pretty par for the course so far, Dryad. We'll get one of those games that eventually goes
One day.
3-1 plus. Yeah.
Well, and I remember there was a time where we would get a lot of 5 maps, even 6 maps here in EGF.
Yeah,
And that was the
yeah.
opposite, of course. Of course.
Yeah, it's feast or famine with us. But folks, will we break the curse? Will this story arc continue to next week? The only way you're gonna find out is if you tune in. So make sure we see you then. But until then, take care and stay safe, everybody.